is Karma Kanda. Number 9, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Number 10, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining Bhakti Sanga Japa conference call today. Let us move to our next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all have joined this morning?
हरे कृष्ण सुस्मिता माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम शिला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय प्रीति दासी फ्रॉम शार्लोट हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna Priti Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna, Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All Krishna Shri Padisi, Shamaguri Vividasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna Syama Gauri Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to all your wonderful services, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji, for giving us the opportunity and for this nectarian class, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna, Susmita Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day and giving your association. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sushmita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to all the assembled devotees on the call. All glories to Guru and Gauranga. This is Harita from Missouri City, Texas, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Harita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Thank you, Mataji, for joining the call and welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shushmita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to all your wonderful services, Mataji. Thank you always for being there and inspiring us and giving us the opportunity, Mataji. Thank you so much for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanvat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and the assembled devotees. This is Revati from Atlanta, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Revati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, is there anyone else who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. All obeisances to all of the devotees present here. This is Ekaradika Lila Devidasi.
Okay, I'm supposed to be there.
Hare Krishna, Ekaradika Lila Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day and for your wonderful chanting, Mataji. Thank you for your assistance. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Mataji Prabhuji had joined, so we can start.
Okay, okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Welcome to Bhakti Sanga Japa conference call. Today we are so fortunate to have His Grace Vrindavan Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th Canto, 12 number chapter and text number 16. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving your valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Before I hand over the call to you, Prabhu, I would like to request Vinita Gandharvika Mataji to read brief introduction about Prabhuji. Mataji, please take over the call. Hare Krishna.
You're
Mataji, you are
muted.
muted.
Okay, I did not check that. Give me a minute. Okay. This is a brief introduction about His Grace Vrindavan Prabhuji. Vrindavan Prabhuji is a senior disciple of His Holiness Radhana Swami Maharaj. Prabhuji is a postgraduate of Commerce and Business Management in India, but he gave up his high-paying job to serve humanity. In his youth, he served in RSS and Vishwa Hindu Parishad by opening a school for blind and orphanage and hospitals. Vrindavan Prabhuji first came into contact with Krishna consciousness in 1974, and understanding that spreading the true message of Bhagavad Gita is the highest welfare activity, he joined as a full-time preacher in 1985 under the guidance of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. He has opened many preaching centers in ISKCON and developed them into successful congregational preaching centers. For over 30 years, he has done many valuable services, including temple president, traveling Sankirtan party leader, head pujari, temple commander, brahmachari training program leader, congregational preaching leader, Padayatra coordinator, spiritual mentor, accountant, etc. At present, he stays with his family in Pune, India. He travels all over India, America, and Europe for preaching the message of Bhagavad Gita. We are very fortunate to have His Grace Vrindavan Prabhuji on the call. This is a brief introduction, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Over to you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you,
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, for the nice introduction. I will hand over the call to you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So we'll do a brief Jai Radha Madhav Kirtan and then we'll start. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Shoda Nandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Gita Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gita Gaura Hari Bol Gita Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gita Gaura Hari Bol Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivrajakaacharya Ashtottara Shata Sri Srimati Divine Grace Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Samaveda Gaura Bhaktarunda Ki Jai Itai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. So today we are reading from Canto 7, Chapter 12, text number 16. So Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Ruttamaslokar Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 7, Canto 7, chapter 12. The Perfect Society, four spiritual classes. Text number 16. Evam vidho brahmachari vanaprasto yatirgruhi Charvindita vijnanaha param brahmadigacchati. So the word-to-word translation. Can I get the word? Yes. Evam vidha, in this way, brahmachari. Whether one is a brahmachari, vanaprastha, or one is in the vanaprastha ashram. Yatihi, or in the sannyas ashram. Gruhi, or in the grihastha ashram. Charana, by a practice of self-realization and understanding of the absolute truth. Vidita Vijnanaha, fully conversant with the science of the absolute truth. Param, the supreme. Brahma, the absolute truth. Adhigachati, one can understand. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. By practicing in this way, whether one be in the brahmachari ashram, grihastha ashram, vanaprastha ashram, or sannyasi ashram, one must always realize the all-pervading presence of the Supreme Lord. For in this way, it is possible to understand the absolute truth. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. This is the beginning of self-realization. One must first understand how Brahman is present everywhere and how he is acting. This education is called Brahma Jidnyasa and is the real concern of human life. Without such knowledge, one cannot claim to be a human being. Rather, he remains in the animal kingdom. As it is said, Sa eva gokharaha. Without such knowledge, one is no better than a cow or an ass. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपदान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः। ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So the verse again, evam vidho brahmachari vanaprasto jatirgruhi charandindahita vijnanaha param brahmadigacchati. By translation, by practicing in this way, whether one can be in the brahmachari ashram, grihastha ashram, vanapastha ashram or sannyasa ashram, one must always realize the all-pervading presence of the Supreme Lord. For in this way, it is possible to understand the absolute truth. So this is a basic understanding about Krishna consciousness, but it is very, very important because all our knowledge of Krishna consciousness is depending upon this basic knowledge. So when we enter into the mysteries of Krishna consciousness and try to understand Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, if we forget this basic concept, then whatever we are reading, we will never understand. And that is the difficulty with materialistic people. They try to understand this spiritual knowledge with material intelligence. So material intelligence can give you only material knowledge, but if you have to have a spiritual knowledge, we have to understand that from a spiritually realized person, not who is materially or academically educated or intellectual in the society or in any field of in any other field in the society. And that is what happens, dharma or the religious practices are hidden in the heart of a pure devotee. Mahajano enagata sapanta dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhaya. So the religious principles are they are hidden in the heart of pure devotee. Why is that? Because he has realized what spiritual knowledge is, or what spirit soul is. And then, as explained in this verse, he is seeing Lord everywhere, or even in the previous verse also it is explained. The realized soul, he sees Krishna in everything and everything in Krishna. So both have to be understood properly. And before that, as the Bhagavatam explains, there are three stages of understanding the Param Satya or the Supreme Truth. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, or Bhagavaniti Uchate. So Brahmeti is the beginning stage. That is the soul. And the second stage is Paramatma, is how the Paramatma, the part and parcel of Krishna, is in the heart of all the living entities. And source of both is Bhagavan, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, how he is different from Paramatma as well as this Atma, and he is the source of Paramatma and Atma simultaneously. So Paramatma is an expansion for this material world to accompany the Jivatma who have left Krishna in the spiritual world. So he comes with living entity as a friend, Surudam. So he comes in his heart so that he can accompany the soul in all the bodies he is willing to accept by forgetting Krishna, 8,400,000 species of life. So this Paramatma is traveling with the living entity, and why he is traveling with the living entity? It is not that he likes to see how the living entity in this world is enjoying. Actually, he travels with the Jiva or Atma to bring him back to the spiritual world, and he keeps on guiding through so many things in this world. So after coming to the human form of life, this facility is again provided. It is not that this facility is not there in any other species. It is also there, but our consciousness is not that developed to understand this difference between soul and the body. So therefore, at least coming to the human form of life, as Prabhupada is explaining in this purport, that human form of life means to have self-realization. There is no any other purpose of this human form of life. So that's why Rishabdev explains, Naham deho deho bhajam nirloke, kashtan kaman virhatam vidbhujam ye, tapo divyam putraka satvakayam, shuddhaid asmat brahma saukyam tvanantam. Is saying that Naham deho deho bhajam nirloke. Do not waste this human form of life or this body. Kashtan kaman, simply working hard for the sense gratification, Shubitbujam ye, which is also available for the stool eating animal like pigs and dogs and all these animals. He said, do not waste this life. Tapo divyam. So what you are supposed to do? You are supposed to tapo. Perform little austerity. Actually, it is not an austerity, but on material platform to transfer our consciousness from matter to spirit. There are some difficulties are there for the body. So therefore, spiritual master and Krishna helps us to transfer our consciousness from the material body into the spiritual activities. So, because why it is an austerity? Because it is not austerity actually for the body. Most important austerity is to not to listen to your mind and listen to the spiritual master and Krishna. That is the most difficult austerity. Because all our 8,400,000 species, we have listened to our mind and body, and therefore to give up listening to the mind and body is not an easy thing. But if you are fortunate, if you understand the purpose of life, and if you understand the basic principle that we are not this body, then you are a candidate or you are a student to understand the spiritual life. And therefore Krishna, he is giving us this specific understanding in this chapter. Narad Muni is explaining to Yudhishthir Maharaj. So the purpose of spiritual realization is first to understand you are not this body, you are spirit soul, and second level is to understand with the soul Paramatma is there in everybody's heart, and the third, the topmost realization is Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead. He is the supreme person, and this Paramatma and the soul are his expansions. So by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have got direct connection to Bhagavan. So that doesn't mean that we should not neglect the other two aspects of the Param Satya or the absolute truth. It is their mercy. We are not qualified in Kali Yuga to directly understand Bhagavan. But it is a mercy of spiritual master or Sri Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that they have already automatically given us the topmost Krishna consciousness, or the realizing the relationship with Supreme Personality of Godhead in five rasas, Dasya, Sakya, all these five rasas. So that doesn't mean, and we will not be able to have that test of relationship with Krishna unless we completely clear up these two stages before. That is, I am not this body. And the second thing, as explained in this verse and also in the previous verse, to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead in everything and everything in Supreme Personality of Godhead. Maya tadamidam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina. That's what Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita. So he is present in everything and everything is present in him. So that is the next stage. So, the first thing why we accept the spiritual master, which is explained in the Bhagavad Gita, after the verse of Tadvidhi Pranipatena Pariprasthena Sevya, that means you approach the spiritual master and render service to him and inquire. And what happens after taking shelter of spiritual master? The first lesson he starts giving, which is explained in the next verse. So, what is that next verse? Yajnatva na punarmoham evam yashyati pandava yena bhutanya sheshani. So, what is Krishna is explaining? Having obtained real knowledge from a self-realized soul. So, when you approach the spiritual master, surrender unto him and inquire about the absolute truth, and he gives you the knowledge. So, after accepting the knowledge, what you are supposed to do? What is he teaching you? You will never fall again into such illusion. So, what is that illusion? That illusion is you are this body. You will never fall into such illusion. That is accepting a spiritual master. Spiritual master is not that just a is there for uh, supreme realization. First thing he teaches us, you are not this body. And if you forget that you are not this body, then your link with the spiritual master is also lost, because his instructions are for your spiritual upliftment, not for your material upliftment. Spiritual master always looks at spiritual advancement of his disciple. So that is why such you will never fall again into such illusion. When if you accept the knowledge, what is that knowledge spiritual master is giving? You are not this body, you are servant of Krishna. And when you forget that, again you fall into this illusion. And that is why this is accepting a spiritual master, means never to forget our relationship with Krishna through spiritual master, as a servant, as a sevaka. And that is why you see in Mangalarti we sing this. And what we are singing, Dhyayan Stuvam Stasya Yashastri Sandhyam. Now we should meditate on Guru 3 times a day at least. At least 3 times a day. Because Kali Yuga is so forgetfulness, as Krishna is explaining here. When you forget, you get into the illusion. Though whatever we talk in 15 minutes before, we forget now. And even we cannot remember what we will talk about in 15 minutes. So what to speak of whole day. So 3 times, morning, afternoon and evening, you are supposed to remember. Those who are Brahmin initiated, they have a special mantra also to pray to the spiritual master. In one of the Gayatri mantra is there. So why is that? 3 times, in the morning, afternoon and evening. So that repeatedly we remind ourselves why we have accepted a spiritual master and what is his relationship with us and what does he wants us to do in this body, how to use this body and how to act in this body. So at least 3 times a day. So we have to remember Krishna or remember spiritual master. What is remembering spiritual master? Not his material form. Remembering spiritual master means his instructions. If we forget his instructions, then again we are going to get into the illusion. And that is why he said, if you apply the real knowledge which you have accepted from spiritual master, you will never fall into the illusion again. So therefore, 3 times in a day, we have to remember the instruction of spiritual master. So instruction of the spiritual master is chant 16 rounds and serve Krishna. Chant 16 rounds includes the service of Krishna. How is that? Because when we chant Hare Krishna, what we are asking, Krishna, please engage us in your service. So chanting Hare Krishna is begging for the service of the Lord. So that is the instruction of Krishna, means chant and connect yourself to Krishna and develop that relationship into different aspects of Krishna consciousness, starting from duty and then prema, and you should increase your Krishna consciousness. And that is why Krishna is saying here, Yajnatva, one who understands the knowledge given by the Spirit, na punarmoham, he will not fall into illusion again. He will not come to bodily platform again. So, for by this knowledge, you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme, and or in other words, they are mine. This is what you learn from spiritual master, that you start looking at every living entity not with their body but as a spirit soul. That is real knowledge. That is what we learn from the spiritual master. Sometimes people ask, oh, how we can develop the mood of spiritual master. This is the mood of spiritual master, what Krishna is explaining here, what he has learned from his spiritual master. He has learned how you will see all that living beings are but part and parcel of the Supreme, or in other words, that they are mine. So you are seeing a soul, not the body. Just like if any of your friend or relative or anybody comes in front of you, you don't see them, you don't see what their shirt, pant, sari, or Punjabi, or what kind of clothes they are wearing. Of course, you are seeing that clothes, but you are dealing with the person in the cloth, not with the cloth. So, how many times we see, oh, we just say sometimes, oh, your sari is nice, or your dhoti is nice, your kurta is nice, shirt is nice, pant is nice, your tie is nice. But that is a temporary. We don't even talk about that all the time. Then we start dealing with the person in that dress. And this is what we are supposed to learn. That means seeing all living entities equally. That it means seeing all living entities. That means Krishna, as explains in Bhagavad Gita, who is a Brahmana, who is a Pandita. Vidya Vinay Sampanne, Brahmane Gavi Hastini, Shunicheva Swapake cha Pandita Samadarshina. So, what is Pandita? Pandita means one who has acquired the knowledge. What is this saying? Vidya Vinaya Sampanne. Vidya again means knowledge, particularly spiritual knowledge. One who has spiritual knowledge, he is Vinaya. He is humble. The one who has knowledge, he is humble. And in that humble mood, what is he saying? What is he saying? Brahmane, he sees Brahman. Gavi means cow. Hastini means elephant. Brahmane, Gavi, Hastini. Shuni means the dog eater. Chaiva, Shuni means dog. Shopakecha means dog eater. So all these people, he is saying Pandita Samodarshina. He sees them equally. So if you see the bodily level, they are not equal. Dog is not different. Dog is different than Brahmana. How they can be same? And how the cow is same as the elephant, or human being is separate same as elephant. So these are the bodies, but he don't see the bodies. He don't see the bodies. He sees them as spirit soul. He deals with them as spirit soul, as ordered by Krishna, as he is learning from the spiritual master. And therefore, in this purport, Prabhupada is writing, if you leave this principle, if you forget this principle, immediately you come to the platform of animal life. So what is animal life? Means he's just thinking of his body and how to enjoy it. That's animal life. That means he is looking for his pleasure. He is not looking to give pleasure to others, which is the Krishna is doing these things. What is Krishna is doing? He is not only enjoying himself, he wants to give that pleasure to others. That is what Krishna is. Krishna is not selfish. So we are his parts and parcel. So what we are expected to do, we are expected to do the same thing. Whatever pleasure we have, and what kind of pleasure? Not bodily pleasure, the spiritual pleasure. We are supposed to give it to others. We are supposed to give it to others. And that is what spiritual master is doing. Whatever knowledge he has got and vijnana, whatever realizations he had, he is distributing to others, not looking at anybody's bodies. Not looking at anybody's bodies. He is looking at spirit soul, and he is helping them in whatever body they are in advancement of spiritual life. And that is true for all the ashrams, and all the ashrams are based on this principle. All the ashrams are based on this principle. The purpose of all the ashrams, as this chapter is going to talk about four varnas and four ashram now. This is the beginning verse to introduce. So, on which basic the whole ashrams are, all ashrams are set, or all ashrams are designed to understand we are not this body, and we are parcel of Krishna, and how to see Krishna in everybody as Paramatma, and also Krishna related to Paramatma and the soul. So this knowledge is the basic knowledge for all the ashrams, even for Shudras. But unfortunately, that is not developed that much in the Shudra consciousness, because Shudra means one who acts on the bodily platform. But still, he has an advantage of coming in contact with devotee of Krishna, and no matter even if he is engaged as Shudra, but he can lift his consciousness to the level of Brahmana by the association of devotees, just like Narada Muni. He is a Dasi Putra, he is a Shudra, but he served the Bhakti Vedantas. And because of that, he developed to the degree of becoming a Mahajan. That he became a spiritual master of so many devotees. All of the examples, most of the examples are in Bhagavatam, or mostly in the any scripture you will find Narad Muni is their guru. So that is the reason how we approach the bona fide spiritual master. So these again is explained in Bhagavad Gita, that these are in Krishna is the one who has designed this society to uplift their consciousness according to their time, place, and circumstances, position, and all other things are considered. So that verse comes in Bhagavad Gita in 4th chapter, it comes 13. Chatur varnam maya srishti guna karma vibhagasha tasya kartaram apimam siddham kartaram avyayam. What is that translation says? So, according to the three modes of material nature and the work ascribed with them, the four divisions of human society are created by me. This is very important. Created by me. So Krishna, many people they criticize these four ashrams, and they criticize the practice of these four ashrams, because they have no knowledge about these four ashrams, and they do not know one who has created this universe, one who has created everything. He himself have created these four ashrams and four varnas. Why he has created? To engage them according to their three modes of nature, and help them in advance, not to just stay wherever they are. So that is why it is said, and although I am the creator of this system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchangeable. So Krishna is different than these four ashrams, and that is why Krishna is. These ashrams are how they are. These ashrams are there. Uh, Tasya kartaram, yeah. So according to your activities, not according to the birth. These four divisions are not according to the birth. Some people have misunderstanding that if you are born to a Brahmana, that means Brahmana. Prabhupada gives an example that if you are born to a doctor, doesn't automatically you become a doctor. You still have to go through the process. If you are born to an engineer, it doesn't mean that you are automatically becoming an engineer. You have to go to the college, get the degree, go through the process, and then you become an engineer. Similarly, if you are born to a Brahmana, doesn't mean that you are automatically a Brahmana. You have to acquire those 9 qualities which are explained in Bhagavad Gita under the guidance of spiritual master, and develop your consciousness to Brahma, Brahma Janati iti Brahmana, to come on the platform of Brahman. And what is the platform of Brahman? As explained in this today's sloka, and also Prabhupada mentioned in the Bhagavad, in the purport. Purport of Brahman. Brahman means one who is self-realized that he is not that body. He is not his body. So Brahma means living force. So he is a living force, which is also called Atma, Jivatma. So these are all same technically word of Brahma or Atma. So he sees that all Atma are Mamayvamso Jivaloke. They are all related to Krishna. So when he forgets that, that means he lost the link with his spiritual master. When he sees everybody on the level of bodily platform, immediately you lose your connection with spiritual master. So therefore, connecting with spiritual master 24 hours means to see all living entities are as part and parcel of Krishna. Yad natva na punarmoham. So this is the knowledge we get from the spiritual master. So here Krishna is explaining Chaturvidham Maya Srishti Guna Karma Vibhagacha, according to the three modes of material nature and their activities. So these are the two main important aspects in deciding what varna and what ashram you are. So basically, Krishna divides four varnas, division of society, and four ashram. So what are the four varnas? Is a brahmachari, that is ashram. So brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, and sannyas. These are the ashrams. So this why these are called ashram, as it is explained here. So brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, and sannyas, and Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. So these are the four ashrams and four varnas. So this based on the advancement. So Brahmanas are mostly in the mode of Sattva Guna. They are supposed to be come to the level of Sattva Guna. Like this, in these three gunas, there is a Sattva Guna, the mode of goodness, and there is Tamo Guna, mode of passion, and there is a mode of ignorance. That is, Rajasa is the mode of passion, and Tamo Guna is the mode of ignorance. So Brahmanas are Tamoguna is the lowest one, which are like they are just so tamasic that they have no knowledge. Now mostly they are all acting on the platform of body. So basically they are Shudras kind of a person. Those who are not interested, or those are their activities or their lifestyle is like they are just happy in just serving others. And just maintaining their body. So the above is a Vaishya, who is he has a passion. Also, he is little in ignorance, but he has a more passion. He likes to work hard, like a business. Vaishya is a business. Our cow protection, that is the quality of Vishnu. So that is little higher. And above Brahman, Vaishya, Kshatriya is the next one, who has a passion, and also he is little bit of his bodily level he has to be, because he has to kill other people, all the enemies, just for the protection of dharma. So and Vaishya is little more that he has a more passion, but Brahmana, who is above all, is engaged in sattva guna. He is always engaged in sattva guna. His activities are in sattva guna. So his consciousness is always situated in sattva guna. So the sattva guna is a basic consciousness for understanding the spiritual life, and that is the reason. So when you are in the spiritual platform or sattva guna, then only you can understand the further steps in spiritual life. So it is not possible when you are in mode of ignorance or in the mode of passion. So this is much expected. So what happens when we take birth in this material world? Everybody is not in the same level. So Krishna is not rejecting anybody. Krishna is giving chance according to their modes of material nature and according to their advancement. So these are the four classes division in the society. So today also this division is still there, although it is degraded form, but the same division is we can see Brahmanas means those who are like a professor or intellectual professors or teachers, or those who are kind of people. No, those who are like intellectual, they are in the class of Brahmana. Not, they are not spiritual, but that class is still there. Those who are intellectuals or guiding the society. The second is there, which is Vaishya, like business people, or those who are doing farming and protecting the cows and animals. That is their duty. So those people are also, we see businessmen people, we see people those who are farming. So these also today is also there. This class is also there. And the third class is also there, which is the army. Though every country has internal security and border security. So both these are coming under the uh, Kshatriyas or warriors. So these warriors are there to fight for the cause of protecting the religious principles. So these warriors class is also there in each country. We see they are engaged in law and order, and they are engaged in um, jo- um, protecting the borders of every country's border security. So these are called Kshatriyas, and all others like a helper class. There you can see there are peons and these kind of helping class. So these, they are not rejected, they are also part of the society. And so, but at present they do not have the knowledge of intellectual people. They cannot, they do not have the courage of becoming a warrior, and they do not have intelligence of becoming a businessman. So they accept that, okay, we will just serve the other three classes. So these are mainly called shudras or laborers kind of a thing. So all these four classes are part of Krishna. So in the scriptures, it is mentioned. It's like all parts of Krishna. How it is like that? Brahmanas are like a head, just like a body. Brahmana is like a head. Means a head. Everybody acts according to what you are thinking. Your head, the brain, mind does the action of thinking and taking decisions and everything. And according to that, your arms work. So that is a Kshatriya. And then you have a belly, that is like a Vaishya. And you have a legs, that is like a Shudra. So wherever Brahmana guides, the whole body works. So Brahmana is considered to be the guide of the whole society. But this is a Vedic understanding for, but if you take it materially, then there will be a fight. Then you will start thinking who is lower, who is higher. That is what happening in so-called, religious country like India. People fight between Brahmanas are higher or Shudras are lower, how we can be feet. But you have to understand whose feet? Krishna's lotus feet, where everybody is taking shelter. So that's not an ordinary feet. So why we understand why we are fighting, and because we are not humble. Brahmana is supposed to be humble, Kshatriya is also supposed to be humble, Vaishya is supposed to be humble, Shudra is also supposed to be humble, because we all four are servants of God. There is no higher, no lower. But because we have different bodies, because we have different consciousness, because we are in different modes of material nature, therefore, just to run the society smoothly, the Krishna has created this Chaturvarna Maya Srishti. I have created this so that the society, without encroaching each other's duties or something, he can progress in spiritual life. He can progress from wherever he is. But all this basic knowledge has to be there. I am Kshatriya, but I am not this body. So Kshatriya is also, he is so strong. That's why he can fight, that he knows that he is not going to be killed. Huh? And he knows even if he is killed, if he is not killed, he'll enjoy the, he'll become a king. If he is killed, he will get the higher body in his next life. So he has the basic understanding that he is not this body. And Vaishya, he is engaged in doing the business and giving the charities and helping the Brahmanas to to preach the Krishna consciousness or preach the Vedic culture. And that is how, and maintain the cows, who is the foundation of Vedic culture, go Brahmana, and to protect the cows and Brahmana. So Kshatriyas are protecting the cows and Brahmana, Vaishyas are maintaining the cows and Brahmana, and Shudras are serving the cows and Brahmana. So Brahmana in turn, he's giving them the knowledge and helping them to raise from Kshatriya to Brahman level, to Vaishya to Brahman level, Shudra to Brahman level. So in this way, Brahmana don't look Shudra as his competitor. Brahmana look Shudra how I can help him, and that is real Brahmana. Oh, so it is not overriding in somebody's authority. It is designed by Krishna so that we can overcome this bodily concept of life. But unfortunately, in Kali Yuga, this has taken a turn and it has turned into a completely bodily platform. So that's why we see Brahmanas are thinking that they are the higher in society, which is the fact. But do they have this quality of Brahmana? Or simply by the for the namesake they are Brahmana because they have taken birth in Brahmana family. Many Brahmana family do not even know what are the duties of Brahmana. I am born in a Brahmana family, but till I came to Krishna consciousness, what I do not even know what are my duties or what Brahmana is supposed to do and what does Brahmana mean. So just doesn't mean that you have taken birth in a Brahmana family, but our actions, my actions were like Shudra, no cleanliness, no thinking of spiritual life, no inclination towards understanding I am not the supreme, no tapasya, sleeping late and getting up late. So these are all Shudra activities. So even though I was born in Brahmana family, but I never lived as a Brahmana till I came to Krishna consciousness, till I came to Srila Prabhupada's movement. And then I could understood, oh, what does this Brahmana means? Brahmana means intellectual. Then what is that intellectual? What is that knowledge? The knowledge about the scripture, not the material knowledge. Knowledge about the scripture, jnanam, vijnanam. Also, we have to have an experience. Then he is to be humble, clean, and do tapasya, get up early in the morning. So these all things are there for the Brahmana. So this society and is divided according to their duties and according to their consciousness and according to how they can advance better. Now this is a social. Now everybody according to their consciousness is again given a chance to develop their consciousness as a brahmachari. So brahmachari is explained the four divisions of society. Just the chapter here in Bhagavatam is explained four divisions of society. So brahmachari. So what does brahmachari do? Brahmachari means to brahmachari gurukule vasadante gurur hitam. He stays under the guidance of Guru and learn that Brahma acharati iti Brahma, how to live on the platform of the soul. And then only he whole life he can stay on the platform of soul. Therefore, spiritual master teaches him. He surrenders, he stays with him, and he teaches him. And then brahmachari, he goes. If he is much inclined to continue as a brahmachari, he goes and he stays, and afterwards he takes a sannyas. That's called naishtika brahmachari. But if he thinks that brahmachari life to take a sannyas is too much, then he can enter into grihastha life. And he lives according to the principles of grihastha with his wife and his children and has a house and a job or business or farming. So whatever, anything for to earn for his family. But still he don't forget there that he's not this body and he is the servant of Krishna. That basic understanding has to be there. And then he goes to Vanaprastha. Again, he do not forget that he is not this body. In fact, whatever training which he has accepted in Brahmachari ashram, he is now again applying in Vanaprastha ashram. Of course, Grihastha life also he remained through that principle. And then now he comes to know at the age of 50, 55 that I have done all my material duties. I have done everything. Now it is my time to Vanaprastha. That is also ashram. Becoming more serious about spiritual life. And sannyas means living for others. Sannyas doesn't mean just living a family. Giving this knowledge with a dedicated to the Lord, completely free from all the detachment, just engage in the principle of distributing knowledge to the society. So therefore, it is called, all are called ashram. So what is ashram? Ashram means ashrita. Where he is ashrit? even though he has a brahmachari, he is brahmachari, he is learning how to be act as a soul. Ashram means he is asrit. Whose ashray he has taken? Krishna. And now spiritual master is his representative who is teaching him how he is not that body and how to see Paramatma in everybody's heart and how to connect to Krishna through deity worship or through service and uh, reading the scriptures. So that is ashram. That is also ashrit. And gruhastha ashram means it is also ashray is there. Whose ashray is there? Krishna's ashray is there. Spiritual master ashray is there. And what is he doing there? Gruha astha. He has a desire or he has an inclination. Gruha astha. He is inclined to have a house. But it is also an ashram. You can the inclination is there, but that is also protected or guided by the spiritual master and Krishna and Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. So that is also an ashram. You are asrit, you are never free. And the third one is vana prastha. That means vana is like a going to the forest, that means you go on pilgrimage and go on preaching. You're not staying in one house, you travel around and you preach, like that. So getting free from attachment and becoming attached to preaching and more becoming attached to follow principles of spiritual life and following spiritual master and completely dedicate his life for serving Krishna. So that is a called beginning of sannyas ashram is vanapasta ashram. So that is also ashram. What is it related again? To the Supreme Personality of Godhead or a spiritual master. Both you are taking shelter. And then the last one is sannyas. You have no attachment. You're just completely ashray, means completely dedicated for preaching Krishna consciousness, completely dedicated to serve the society, to uplift all other classes, all other ashrams, all other varnas to Krishna consciousness. And that is sannyasi. He don't see the training which he got from the brahmachari ashram, not to see a body, to see everybody as a soul. So sannyasi is considered to be the highest level of Krishna consciousness or any consciousness in human as possible. The highest is Krishna consciousness. So this is the principle of all the four ashram, to slowly, or if you have a capacity, then you can go directly to sannyas. So these four and these ashrams, as Krishna is explaining, and which are going to be explained in this chapter, brahmachari, vanaprastha, and all these things. So basic understanding is ashrita. And what is that ashray? As a spiritual living entity. So nobody is free. In Kali Yuga, everybody wants to become free. Woman wants to, they have a movement of woman. What is that? They want freedom. No, they don't want to be subordinate to the man. So the woman's movement is there. I want to be independent. Even men want to be independent. I want to do whatever I want. You know. So both man and woman are trying to independent. Everybody in this world is trying to be independent. But is anybody independent? Nobody is independent. Everybody is bound with the three modes of material nature. So you can only become free, only you are dependent. Just like Prabhupada says, that independence means dependence on Krishna. So women are become free when they practice and follow their husband, which is a religious person who is guiding his wife and family to the lotus feet of Krishna or to the lotus feet of spiritual master. That's the husband. And woman, if subordinate to such an husband, is a perfect family. So woman is supposed to follow husband, correct? So that is her real freedom. And husband is not independent. He is also subordinate. He is also controlled by the spiritual master, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. He is not independent. So he is also surrendered. He is also following the instructions of spiritual master and Krishna. So that is why man is also not independent. He is also dependent on the scripture and Guru. Now the woman takes shelter of husband, husband takes shelter of Guru. Guru is also not independent. He has to follow the parampara, the disciplic succession, and the scriptures. He is also not independent. So Guru also subordinate to Krishna and parampara and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The only person who is independent, Abhigya Swarat, is Krishna. And when we link him through these four ashrams, then we also become free. Because we are all depending on Krishna. And that is the knowledge given in the four varnas and four ashram. Therefore, the Bhagavatam is explained, Atha Pumbir Dvija Sreshta Varnasrama Vibhagasha Swanusitasya Dharmasya Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. What this verse means that Atapambir Dvija Sreshta. So, Varnashrama Vibhagasa, the four divisions of ashrams and Varnas and ashrams is what? Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. All the four are meant to please Krishna. There is no lower or no superior. All ashrams are perfect in their own situation and they are supposed to serve Krishna. Just like Prabhupada gives an example of a body. Body, belly, if the hand decide, I hold the food, why I should give it to belly? Even and belly do not have food, the whole body will be completely become weak. So the hand's duty is to put the food in the mouth and goes to belly, and belly, the food is dissolved in the body and gives strength to the whole body. So all these things you can see interacting, even though head is the major part of the body, but that doesn't mean leg has no meaning. So all the parts, they work together as a body. So the society, all these parts, they work together. Varnas and ashrams, they work together as a servant. Samsiddhir Haritoshanam, to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And if you forget this principle, which is very basic, as explained in this Bhagavad Gita, then the whole society will be disturbed. It will be, there will be chaos, you see, which we see in Kali Yuga, how these four ashrams and four varnas are completely disturbed and distorted and misunderstood. So this is the purpose as explained in this verse. So it's the beginning of these four varnas is to understand all living entities are parts and parcel of the Lord. They are with Lord, and everything you see, Krishna is within everything and everything is in Krishna. This is the basic understanding, and to realize that is Krishna consciousness and act according to that, that means serving the Lord. So I would like to stop here. I spoke for almost 50 minutes, so I don't know what time I'm supposed to stop. So we'll open up for Krishna questions. We have 3 to 5 minutes because another program at 7 o'clock.
Oh,
Hare
okay,
Krishna.
Prabhuji, thank you so much for the beautiful class. We are very grateful to you. We are opening the forum for the question and answers. If anybody having any questions, realizations, please go ahead. As Prabhuji has less time, we can take only one question. Anybody having any question or realization, please raise your hand.
Anybody is awake yet?
Yes, Prabhuji, we are all there.
I requested Mataji before. I would like to see everybody when I'm giving class. Otherwise, I don't know to whom I'm talking to.
Prabhuji, everybody is there. It's a morning time for us. That's the
Yeah,
reason
that's
most
why
of us
everybody is
off camera.
busy.
Yeah, we have one raise hand, Prabhuji. Ananga Kishori Mataji, please go ahead with your question.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, my question, you spoke about Varnashram. So,
Hmm.
like we live in the West. I'm based in UK. So I have a 3-year-old son, and we put him in a school here. But like Srila Prabhupada would say that Western education trains up a person to just become a Shudra. So
Yes.
is that true? And then what are the alternatives? I mean, if we want to come back to India for better schooling, because I've heard even like Gurukul system has practically it stopped in India also.
Hmm.
So how do we train the next generation to not just become doctors and engineers and follow the normal path?
Yes, that's a very good question. And it's a practical. Every parent has that concern all over the world when they come to Krishna consciousness. Okay, we got this path. What about our children? So yes, Mataji, if you just make them doctor, engineer, or businessman, That's why Prabhupada says that you are making them Shudras. As I said, Shudra means one who works just for maintaining this body. We have no other higher purpose of life. No, this is just one level than the animals. So what we can do as a parent, we give them Krishna consciousness in home and make them understand the purpose of life. Teach them to chant Hare Krishna and do kirtan and give them prasadam, and slowly they can take an education and see that education as a service to the Lord, not separate from the Lord. Because what education they are taking, they are learning about the 8 aspects of Krishna: earth, water, fire, air, either, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Any education doesn't go beyond this thing. So that is also Krishna's Prakriti. So as I was talking in this verse, that we don't see Krishna's creation different than Krishna. So if that education is engaged in Krishna's service, that is also becomes spiritual. You can be a doctor, you can be engineer, you can be a businessman. So that is our material position in the society. So what we can do to your children, just like you probably coming from a cultured family, your parents taught you, especially we the people, those who are in 50s 60s, they are fortunate, at least they know what parents did for them. They give you some kind of spiritual culture, chant Ram Laksha, chant Bhagavad Gita, learn Bhagavad Gita, go and offer up obeisances to the Lord. So because we got this culture, that's why we have some kind of inclination to understand more. So the same thing we can do for our future generation. Give them understanding, and when they come to their own age, they will understand, because they got this basic training, and they will understand how to apply this Krishna consciousness in their life. So there is nothing wrong in becoming a doctor, engineer. There are so many wonderful devotees in ISKCON now. Those who stayed in home, and practice Krishna consciousness, and they are doing big IT jobs. They're doctors, engineers, and they are doing good as a devotee. Many of them are like preachers. They do their job and they are also preachers. So there is no impediment for Krishna consciousness. Okay, Hare Krishna. Hope that helps you. You can take more guidance from whoever is your senior, advisor or mentor, preacher.
Yeah, thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji, for the beautiful answer. Krishna consciousness giving at home will definitely helps the child when he goes to the school. Yes, he
Hare
or
Krishna.
she goes to the school. Thank you, Prabhuji. As you said, you don't have more time. You need to give another class.
I can take one more question. I
Okay,
have.
Prabhuji.
If there is question, otherwise I have a class.
Yeah,
Next
sure,
class.
Prabhuji. We will quickly take one more question. If anybody have any question, please raise your hand. Okay. If there are no more questions, we can end the call here. I would like to offer my
Hare
obeisances to you
Krishna.
and all the Vaishnavas.
Thank
Hare
you
Krishna,
very much.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you
Oh,
very much.
Shamagauri Mataji wants to
Yeah.
speak.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I just want to thank you. Very, very wonderful class, and very
Hare Hare.
nicely you explain the like Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagwan, and also
Yes.
the four Varnas. You nicely, briefly explained, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you for giving me chance. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Look
Thank
forward
you,
to serve you
Prabhuji.
again. Hari Bol. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srimad Bhagavatam. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha.
Kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Antakoki Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada jai, His Grace Vrindavan Prabhuji ki jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Nityananda.
Very nice to see you, Lalita Mataji and Dheerabandhu Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.